Hello, 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 hello. Welcome once again to a Prog Reborn. My name is M. Kosler. We are once again making our way through patch 2.0. Trying to do as much as we can in patch 2.0 before we move on. We last left off moving back to the MSQ. Did a couple of quests there and are starting to sprinkle in some of the side quests as we are making our way through. Just trying to sort of make it a little more efficient in experience gain, especially since because of our progression style playthrough, we can't use things like duty roulette to level up our other jobs and classes. Last left off, in the MSQ, we just found Ungust out to be. We just found out that Ungust was the perpetrator behind the kidnappings and getting the Immortal Flames involved. I imagine that this down a little bit. No, actually I think we're fine where we are. We found out that Ungust was involved with the kidnappings in Camp Drybone, and we're reporting back to Minfilia. Couple of one little warning here, because this is a progression playthrough and not a new playthrough or reaction playthrough. I am going to, and my main character is current. At any point throughout the stream, I might relate things that people say or things that are happening on stream to anything in Final Fantasy XIV that I have played, which is almost everything the game has to offer. So if you're sensitive to spoilers up through patch 6.15, not 1.5, I'm sorry, 6.5, go ahead and use this as your one and only warning. So yeah, let's go ahead and get back and started. Switch this over to here and should be good to go. Cool. So yeah, we're doing the Waking Sands stuff. Seeds of Change, I don't think I can do. This one I know I can't do. That's the dying like gear. Braving New Depths, that is Karn, which I think I should be able to do. I'd have to go look at my list. And that's Ormvale, which I think also I should be able to do. And then Trauma Queen. This Hullbreaker? I don't know what that one is. I'll have to look it up. See, Tataru, you got anything to say to me? How goes it? All is well here, at least on the bookkeeping front anyway. Our organization, the Signs of the Seventh Dawn, was formed through the union of two separate entities. The first was comprised of Charlian natives. I think we've already read this. Yes, Path of the 12. Yep, okay. I've read that one already. Nothing new. Alright, Brent Well, if it ain't the lad from the carriage, fancy meeting you here of all places. Me, I'm just here to deliver a shipment. Now, where shall I tell him to put it? Brent was Ulda. Place of the Waking Sands, and it's our headquarters. It used to be, yeah, he's saying the exact same thing. Exact same thing. Exact same thing. They say that those of us who have seen the dream are chosen, and that we have within us the seed of greatness, that we could be heroes. Even me, an Alamegan half-breed, cast out when his mother could no longer stand the sight of him. A half-breed who once took to banditry just to eat. I am sure I'm just brimming with heroic potential. Well, Aaronvel, I think you'll do fine. So this boy has Garlean blood in him? Can't say I'm surprised. Everyone knows what happens when a city is sacked, even if the bards choose to omit that part. But even Ironvald shouldn't be pitied. Boys like him have a clean slate and an opportunity to write their own story, free of the ties that bind the common man. Robberies and disappearances. The Amalja are the most likely culprit, wouldn't you agree? Then again, this is Thanalan. One cannot discount the possibility that money interests are involved. So it's interesting that, well, not really interesting, it's just good writing, that they already have Arnvald's backstory of him being a half-breed, a half-breed Garlean. They don't really go directly into the fact that the tattoo or face paint or whatever is to hide the wound of him scarring out or gouging out his Garlean third eye. Pretty interesting. We got Natayan. Why don't any of these blokes know who I am? I swear I was one of them, Scions of the Seventh Dawn. Only we didn't have such a fancy name back then, and the headquarters was in a far more convenient location. At least I think it was, or is my mind playing tricks on me? Gods, what's wrong with me? Why can't I remember it more clearly? So this I don't know enough about. I would have to have been playing during 1.0 to know if this is actually real or if this is this person having an episode. My guess is this is supposed to play on the fact that just like you, your character, theoretically, if you were a legacy player, also essentially had their memory wiped. Welcome back, Em. I'm pleased that you and Thancred have been getting along. I see you have done well to uncover the truth. My thanks for the report. As Thancred said, we must ascertain where the abducted were taken, and none but the Amalja know the answer. Suffice it to say, they will not willingly part with this information. I fear blood will be spilled before all is said and done. Else hiding in here? Life, materia, and everything. So I think... I don't really know. I'd have to actually look this up. Actually, let's just do that right now. Console games wiki. Life, materia, and everything. Now this was in patch 2.0. Materia. Transmutation, I'm pretty sure, yeah, 2.25. Holding Spirit Bond, this is the one that I'm not so sure about. Forging the Spirit. Forging the Spirit was in 2.0. Okay. So that's really good for me, because this is a materia extraction is an excellent way to gain money early in game. So that's very good that it's in 2.0, because I'm going to be spending quite a bit of this experience in patch 2.0. And it would be a lot of wasted money if I couldn't use it. Though we seek a peaceful solution to the primal problem, we must needs be ready to fight for our cause. That you might take to the field suitably prepared, I would have you meet with a goblin acquaintance of mine. His name is Mutamix Bubblypots, and he is a scholar of no small repute. Mutamix is renowned for having introduced a revolutionary method of enhancing equipment to Eosia. The knowledge of this method was once a closely guarded secret, but thanks to Mutamix and his students, it has now been disseminated to the great benefit of all the realm. It would serve you well to acquire an understanding of the process. For this purpose, I shall lend you a blade. Take it to Mutamix and bid him use it to demonstrate his craft to you. Mutamix is ever to be found at his camp in Central Thanalan, a place known as the Bonfire. Look for a pillar of smoke, and the way will become clear. Ready? Let's see, is Ishtola still standing there? Then I imagine that there's nothing new to say. Anything new from Tataru? Nope. Ooh, hello Halatali. I'm pretty sure Halatali was available in 2.0. Nedrick of the Signs of the Seventh Dawn has some useful information he wishes to share. Hail there, adventurer. I'm Nedrick Ironheart, an explorer by trade and a scion by allegiance. And you, my friend, look to me an adventurer in need of a challenge. I happen to know just the place that will offer it to you. Tucked away in a corner of Eastern Thanalan lies Halatali, and it is there that you will find all the excitement you crave. Palace boasts a storied history. It was built some 100 years past as a training ground for gladiators. Calamity laid it to ruin, though as it did to most things. Now Halatali is a shadow of its former self, but in the dark of that shadow lurks wild beasts, both bloodthirsty and beyond count. For one such as yourself, I dare say there's no finer place than Halatali to test your skill and refine your technique. Indeed, I've taken the liberty of passing your name along to the flames who oversee the place. Should you visit, speak with one Fafajoni near the entryway. You just double check. Got my Google Doc. What dungeons were available. Halatali is one of them. Excellent. Central Thanalan Bonfire. Cool. Black Brush. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, bum. Psh, sh. Who is Uplander come to tint ring of Mutamix bubbly pots? Plain dagger has absolutely no defining characteristics except that the hilt does smell quite nice. Why am I sniffing a dagger? Fighty Tool drinks in airy self. When full of airy self, Fighty Tool changes to Stony Shine, name of materia. If materia join with other Fighty Tool. And Big Eyes, Fighty Tool gains power of airy self. Psh, shock. Mutamix is reckoning that Uplander is friend of Minfilia. Yes, tongue flaps reach ears of Mutamix with fastness. Minfilia wants Uplander to see power of materia. Uplander brings Flighty Tool to Mutamix, yes. Fighty Tool is unstrong as Eating Tool. Make good Teachy show of power of materia. The Materia Master. Now, eyes of Uplander point at Fighty Tool, yes. Materia join with Fighty Tool. Fighty Tool gains power of materia. Fighty Tool Reborn. Here, Uplander take Fighty Tool to Minfilia. Materia, strictly speaking, is a kind of crystal. It is created by drawing out the etheric constituents from a piece of equipment and then crystallizing them. Not just any old equipment will serve, mind you. It must have sufficient spirit bond, that being a measure of how fully an item has been imbued with its owner's spirit. When you attach a piece of materia to the gear, you imbue the host item with its power. That's how Master Mutamix turned that dagger of yours from something that as would have struggled to cut steak into a weapon worth wielding. Uplander wishes to be joiner of materia. Then Uplander best fill brain case with knowings of crafty making. With knowings of crafty making, Uplander can become joiner of materia. If Uplander wants braid case to rattle with knowings of materia, Uplander best trade tongue flaps with learny ones of Mutamix. Cool. Newcomers was to disseminate the secrets of materia creation. What would you say if I told you that inanimate objects can possess a soul? They can, believe it or not, although the soul in question is not their own, but that of their owner. Faithful service, the arms and armor that we use come to hold our spiritual energy. Thus do we form a spirit bond with them. This spiritual energy can be drawn out and converted into materia, a special kind of crystal that can be attached to gear to enhance its properties. I am well versed in the ways of materia extraction. If you wish to learn more about the process, it would be my pleasure to teach you. Are you ready to commence your learning? Good. As you will have gathered by now, material is the crystallized form of one's spiritual energy. As this energy is derived from an individual's psyche, a volatile beast at the best of times, a degree of variance is to be expected in its production. In practice, this means you won't know the exact properties of a stone until you cradle it in your hand. The material won't grant you much of anything on its own. Its power must be tapped, see, and this is achieved by melting it into gear. Know, though, that it takes the deft hands of a craftsman to meld materia. You can always seek others to attach materia on your behalf, but if you would sooner do it yourself, I recommend you speak to Phobos. Melding is her field of expertise. Cool. cool. Back to Minfilia. We just need this and Arcanist to get to 24. Nope. Nope. Dola's still standing there. Welcome back, Em. I trust your visit to the bonfire proved fruitful. A once ordinary dagger now made special with the wonders of materia. Ah, what a remarkable difference a single piece of materia can make. Granted, the skills needed to manipulate the substance are not easily acquired, but one need only look upon the results to realize such efforts are worthwhile. As I am sure you are aware, the quality of one's equipment can be the difference between victory and defeat. Materia may well give you the edge you need, Em, so make it your ally. Now it's time we discuss the matter of your next mission. Pray speak with me when you are ready to begin. 24. Darkness. $18. Minfilia would like you to assist the Immortal Flames. Word has arrived from Thancred concerning our ongoing investigation. It appears he was able to extract some information from our friend Ungus, the false priest. He revealed that he is due to meet with the Amalja to discuss their dealings. The Immortal Flames believe the meeting will present an ideal opportunity to ambush and capture the Amalja responsible for the abductions, and so they mean to have Ungus attend as planned. As the Amalja are anticipated to offer fierce resistance, the Immortal Flames have requested our support. I would have you provide it to them, Em. Thancred is presently attending to another matter, but will join you as soon as he is able. Until such time as he does, you will be the Scion's sole representative on the ground. Before he left, he bade me tell you to save some for him. Such is his confidence in you, a confidence I share. When you have made ready, pray take yourself to Camp Drybone and report to the Flame Sergeant leading the mission. Walk in the light of the crystal. Through this first mission, you will come to understand the nature of our struggle with the primals. Well, may appear to be I think I've read that already. There, Ishtola is still standing here. Let's just double check. Here, everybody seems to be in the same spots. Assume that also means that everybody's still saying the same thing. Alright, going back to Camp Drybone. That's our free teleport. It's always nice. Over here. Ah, you're in progression with the Scions. My thanks for coming, friend. We're stronger for your assistance. Allow me to brief you on your mission. Our objective is to capture Amalja and prize from them the whereabouts of the abductees. Those men aren't aware that their man, Ungust, has been exposed. When they come to the rendezvous point to meet the traitor, we'll spring the trap. Owing to the clandestine nature of the mission, we can deploy only a small contingent. Every member must count, and so we requested the aids of the Scions. The rendezvous will take place at the Invisible City. Please make your way there and lie in wait. We stand to learn much and more of the Amalja plot if the mission succeeds, and let's make sure it does. Finish off this quest real quick before I go to the Lord of the Inferno. Boom, boom, boom. Arcanist still needs stuff in La Nocia. Business here again, friend. Cloud marble to make a tombstone for Eddard's sister. That boy is nothing if not trouble. It was all I could do to convince him not to go looking for a stone on his own. Still, I suppose it cannot be helped, and losing a loved one is never easy. Thank you for your part in this. I will see the marble is used as Eddard wishes. Guys, you adventurers sure are kind folk. And all I need is a coin for the funeral. I'm going to stay on here at the church for a bit and help out. Wouldn't be right to leave everything up to someone else. It'll mean more to my sis if I can do it on my own. Brother Esamir and the sister Ariel are good folk, too. They say I don't need no guild to bury my sis here, but I know how it works. It'll take a coin to send her over to Thal proper. Rum bum bum ba, bum 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 bum, rum bum bum ba. Right on past it. The baiting place. Man is in position, sir. Good. Make a move as soon as the Amalja appear. Yes, sir. Bump, bump, bump. Ooh. What is the meaning of this? Wait, something's amiss. I'm afraid your little ambush ends here. I eluded the Immortal Flames' clutches for moons before finally being caught. Do not wonder how I managed it. It was almost as if someone was feeding him information from the inside. Your every movement was known to me ahead of time. Now, as much as I'd love to chat a while, I have appointments to keep. They're all yours. Mars of friends will keep you company. The portraits are definitely new. Down over here real quick. How long will you last, I wonder? Another wave, stay sharp, men. Gods damn it, is there no end to them? And the show is only just beginning. Put up your weapon, or your comrade's a dead man. Behind you. He put me to sleep. Using the mage's sleep spell. Bring him. The rest of you march. Traitorous scum. Lizards claim they will super rig us before a freet for tempering. All of us are as good as dead. Rejoice, heathens, for your worthless lives will shall soon have meaning. Lizardmen march us to their stronghold. They're preparing for something, and I, for one, do not want to be around when they finish. You're going to kill us, aren't they? God said I don't want to die. I want to go home. Listen well. These waters feed into the marshes of Drybone. A short swim will see us to freedom. However, if all of us attempt to flee, we're likely to be discovered. You alone must sneak out and assemble a rescue party. Once you have one free, seek out our comrade stationed at Drybone. He will show you the way back here. May the 12 speed your way. Just to get in and out of the area. I fear the Amalja mean to give us to their god as an offering. If I must die, then let me die a soldier's death, with steel in hand. Alrighty. How long this would take if I go. There's a deeps, so we're not going to take that. We're going to go as a tank. While we are waiting for that queue to pop, let's go and Halatali, it's down here. Western Thanalan, there's a Southern Thanalan, there's an Eastern Thanalan, but that's over here. Recommendations have that would give me whatever I've got, but it would only give me for my existing or the class that I'm in. Is if it is the halls of Halatali you seek no further. Permit me to tell you something of this place. The name comes from an ancient tongue, Halatali, meaning the land of many shadows. It was here that our distant ancestors first settled, and you've not come all this way for a lesson in history. Shh, listen. You not hear the growls and howls? You not feel how they shake the very earth beneath you? Those sounds are the work of no wind, my friend, nor the doing of any shadows. Those are the calls of Halatali, for now the beasts once kept for the Colosseum lurk there. And these are no gentle beasts broken by the hand of man. No, they are those within that even the might of the immortal flames cannot tame. From the look of you, you must be M. I received word from Nedrick that you might be along. By his recommendation, I grant you leave to enter freely. I only pray you're able to find your way out. All right. What am I looking for? I am going back to here. Let's go. Pull up the recommends. Oh, hold on. Phone call. Give me a second. Scammer. Nothing of interest. Kieran's over here. I guess while I wait, head and pick up some of these quests. Deathly silent. Crowd has fallen deathly ill. Helmhart of Highbridge could use an adventurer's assistance with a hair-raising problem. Yes, you. Adventurer, I need you to fetch 3 bottles of furball blood and do so with all haste. Where to find furball blood, you ask? Why, from Furballs, of course. Now hurry, this is a matter of life and death. You who needs the Furballs? Somebody needs Furballs. Somebody need Furballs? Huh? Recommends. You should be showing up in the recommend. Unless it's a distance thing, but that doesn't make sense. Yeah, thaumaturge. It's not thaumaturge. That's thaumaturge. That's not a knife. Played knifey spinny before. Stop healing. Gladiator needed the Kikirn. Right here. I wonder if it's a row runner as in like salmon eggs or fish eggs in general, probably. Are right next to a river, so it would make sense. Anyone else? Southern. Western. Southern. Chia. Western. Eastern. Chasm Buzzard. Let's go. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Vulnerable. Come on now. Didn't even run that far away. Anyone else? We're not through there. We already did the only one for you here. Southern. Still needs to clean that up. Since we are waiting, let's go ahead and clean up the Arcanist's Marauder and the like. I just realized that I had all those quests that I still needed to do. It's no biggie. What was I gonna say? This definitely gives you a appreciation for being on a higher pop server. It also gives you appreciation for new features like duty support. If I were playing not without these restrictions or not without this progression style, I would 100% be using duty support, especially on a low pop server, or low pop, what you call it, low pop data center. Cool. And Marauder still needs something in here. Cool. Everybody's up to date. Shroud, South Shroud, Eastern Thanalan. Hey, you need the buzzards as well. And the axe beaks. You need a couple things in Western Thanalan. Oakwood is on this side, so we can go ahead and do this pugilist. Somebody needs these stone shells. Gladiator. Can't do it fast enough. Lord of the Inferno, hearken to our plea. Lord of the Inferno, deliver us from our misery. Almighty Ifrit, Lord of the Inferno, your humble servants beseech you, grace us with your divine presence. Almighty Ifrit, we bring before you ignorant savages who know not your godhead. If it please you, Lord, scorch their heathen souls with your cleansing flame and mark them as your own. Bloody hells. Bring those two as well. What's going on? This ain't what we agreed. None but the servants of Lord Ifrit may behold the rite of summoning. The souls of unbelievers are forfeit. Oh, spare me, I beg you. Pitiful children of man, by my breath I claim you. Rise once more as my loyal minions, feed my flames with your faith, and all who stand against us shall burn. Almighty Ifrit, my one true God. Your words are my bread. Impossible. But what sorcery do you resist my master's will? Could it be your soul already belongs to another? Yes, that is the only explanation. Forsooth, thy frail mortal frame can serve as vessel to the blessings of but one. Yet I smell not the taint of another upon thee. Truth of thine allegiance waxeth clear, thou art of the godless blessed number. Paragons warned of thine abhorrent kind, thine existence is not to be suffered. Being a scholar down here when they have to use physic. Surrender thyself to the fires of judgment. Like fire, hellfire. Eating another crystal. Pray forgive my lateness. I was delayed by a congregation of Amalja zealots. I swear each seemed more evangelical than the last. Persistent plot. I see the Bloodsworn wasted no time extracting the captives. It was less than I expected from the Flame General's hand-picked men. As for those two, it is fair to say their hardships have only just begun. They have much to answer for. I feel I owe you an apology, Em. Had I known this mission would prove so dangerous, I would never have left you to face it alone. You've been given a veritable baptism of fire. Let us continue this conversation in more agreeable surrounds. Camp Drybone, shall we? This way, sir. So there's a couple things in there that are relevant. Hold on 1 second. So that was the Mighty Ifrit. These little bits. The Power Rangers. And what a disappointment he was. The readings are nowhere near what I anticipated, even taking Ul'Dan interference into account. I should know better than to rely upon 5-year-old data left by the 7th Legion. Nor can we expect any form of support from the motherland, given the troubles at court. We have only ourselves to rely upon. Ever the pessimist, my dear Livia. Promise me you'll never change. Wasted enough time here. That meter of yours is too old to give any reading worth a damn. Now, not that there was aught worth a damn for it to read, but I take your point. I suppose we must content ourselves with the knowledge that we've achieved our primary objective. Yet I find that I am troubled by that adventurer's unexpected show of strength. Could such a foe prove a hindrance to our plans? Perhaps, but that is consideration for another time. You've been given a task. That is your priority. I suggest you treat it as such. Fail to do as my lord commands. I will spare him the trouble of punishing you. Allies like that. Beware a woman in love, I shall need to be on my best behavior. Alright, I want to check a couple things. Log filters event. Actually, we'll do it in general. Battle. Announcements. NPC dialogue. Dialogue announcements. No. No, but that's a battle text. That's not what I want. Not get the text that we just saw. Ah, there you are, M. Come rest a while. You will have no better opportunity. After witnessing their god's ignominious defeat, the Amalja will be less inclined to risk our wrath, for a time at least. But now it's showing up. Yes, I was in the process of apologizing. I do hope you can forgive me. I've arrived too late to be of any use, to you or to the abductees. They may be whole of body, but the same cannot be said for their minds, for once a man is tempered, but it ill suits me to dwell on the negatives. Amidst all our misfortunes, there is still reason to rejoice, if it is slain, and by your hand, no less. That is the deed of no ordinary individual, M. Not that I ever thought you were ordinary. On the contrary, I've long suspected that you have the potential to shape the fate of this realm. Can I say my fine eye for talent remains undimmed? Minfilia will be proud beyond all reckoning when she hears of your deeds. I trust you shan't object to my bearing the tidings to her. That way I can claim to have contributed something to this mission. You, meanwhile, have earned yourself a rest. Take some time to relax and return to the Waking Sands when you're good and ready. We can discuss matters in more detail then. Just don't take too long, will you? The realm's problems won't solve themselves. See dialogue stuff out of that one. Okay, so there's a couple of things in there that were interesting. Excuse me. So when in Shadowbringers, when Emmett reveals that Hydaelyn and Zodiark are primals, a lot of people referred back to this scene with Ifrit as evidence that they were hinting at that before. But Ifrit themselves rebukes or rebuts, not rebukes, rebuts the comment of the Amalja to say that no, it is a godless, they are a part of the godless ones. They are not a part of the, they're not just somebody else who has been tempered by another god slash primal. And he mentions that the paragons told them that. So you don't really know. It still puts Hydaelyn, the primal Hydaelyn, who fight second to last trial in 6.0, as a weird primal, because in dialogue with Emmett you have, I guess not totally weird, I'm jumping around. In dialogue with Emmett, you have the implication that the Paragons and the Ascians have been tempered by Zodiark. Which is their reason for their fanaticism for them. But I don't know if that's totally true. Or if that could be just another misinterpretation. But what I was gonna say is it makes Hydaelyn weird in that Hydaelyn is not tempering you. You can argue that she isn't that weird because Ramu, who we get to pretty soon, with all things relative, also is not tempering you or attempting to temper you, just like straight away snatch your soul style that you got from Ifrit and that you probably would get from Titan, or not even you get from Titan, because Titan does the during Titan Hard. In Heaven's Word, you get that. Gabu gets tempered there. I think Ramu fights you under the two conditions of, if he loses, then the sylphs under his control would not interfere. But if he wins, then he takes your soul. I'll have to remember that one later. But all this is to say that both that line of dialogue about being a godless one, and later on in Elpis, what's her name? Vana saying that the blessing is just a traveler's ward, all make you think that she is just above tempering. Now, you might argue that she has like a relatively limitless wealth of ether, considering that she lives in the ethereal sea, so she isn't really needing for ether, unlike the other primals that get summoned or who have had to be re-summoned. But it's just a weird hole to me that We agree and believe that Hydaelyn, we agree with Emmett and believe that Hydaelyn is a primal. And Vana admits it at the beginning of Endwalker. But she doesn't try to temper us. Other thing that we get there in that scene was a couple of references to, not necessarily a couple, a reference to Ifrit in 1.0 being a trial that was supposedly, I think it was the last trial that they released, and supposed to be very hard. Now, whether it actually was very hard or whether it was the same as what you get with a lot of old content, where players were just worse, that's different. But yeah, it's interesting. That was the conversation with Nail saying, you know, 5 years ago, Ifrit, or him not thinking that Ifrit was that big of a deal, kind of a pushover, and Livia saying that he is relying on 5-year-old information. Anything else that came out of there? Oh, right, the other retcon. Or maybe not, again, I don't know if we can call it a retcon, or you think that Nero just isn't really good at reading people's actual intentions or beliefs or whatever. That Livia is in love with Gaius, as opposed to Livia being a adopted daughter of Gaius, and sort of having a platonic love rather than a romantic love. Now, there's nothing to say that Livia not being blood related and sort of not really being like legally adopted, or there's nothing to say that she doesn't think the guy is as attractive or anything like that, and she might have fallen in love with him, but he doesn't see her like that. But Nero implicates it as love, romantic love, and it's later recontextualized as Livia being a surrogate daughter to Gaius. Anyways, a lot going on in those scenes. All right, nothing new from Tataru there. Or as this Minophilia VA would say, Tataru. New from Ishtola. Ah, the triumphant hero returns. Thancred told us the news upon his arrival. He is presently in the Solar, giving a full report to Lady Minophilia. You should join them at once. Lady Minophilia is most eager to see you. Should have switched out of Gladiator. My late arrival nearly cost him his life. I wasn't there when the Amalja took him prisoner. I wasn't there when they served him to a Ifrit. Yes, by some miracle he survived, but that does not excuse the fact that he should never have had to face such dangers alone. I failed him utterly. Just as I'm failing you all. What's done is done, Thancred. Can't ill blame yourself for every... It's good to see you again. Impeccable timing, my friend. I just finished regaling Minfilia with your heroic exploits. Thancred has told me everything. You've done well to return to us. The perils you faced were undeniably great, yet a part of me believes that I had no cause to fear. Now we can put paid to our long investigation. As we suspected, the Amalja undertook both the robbery and the abductions with the aim of summoning their primal Ifrit. Nor is this tale limited to Ul'dah. Similar incidents have been rife in both Limsa Lominsa and Gridania of late. I dare say you've been curious as to how these crimes are linked to the primals. Permit me to explain. Having manifested in the physical realm, primals must consume ether if they are to maintain their presence here. The stronger they become, the more ether they require. Now, ether exists throughout creation. It flows through all life and permeates the very air that we breathe. Alas, this alone will not suffice to sustain the likes of Ifrit. Nay, he and his kind require a more concentrated source of ether, crystals. It is for this reason that incidents involving crystals can often be traced back to a primal. Which leaves us with the why of the abductions. To understand this, you must first understand how primals are born. When all is well with the world, primals possess no physical form. Their essence is dispersed across the great river of ether. However, when the world is plunged into chaos, those who worship the primals cry out to their gods for deliverance from suffering. These cries serve as a beacon toward which a primal's essence is irresistibly drawn. It is this coming together, or etheric coalescence, which grants the beings physical form. Once born, a primal gains strength from its followers' worship. The more numerous and fervent they are, the more powerful their god becomes. The primals are seldom satisfied with such reverence as their adherents freely give, and in order to gain more power, they do not scruple to create followers. They do this by tempering mortals, a process to which you yourself were subjected. Yet even as Ifrit took your comrades in his thrall, you alone remain unaffected. This is thanks to the power you possess, the Echo. We know not the why of it, but those blessed with the Echo are immune to primal influence. It is as though a greater power protects us. When first you came to us, I told you that the Echo would be instrumental in dealing with the primal threat. I trust you now begin to see why. The recent incidents all share a common trait: meticulous planning. Such elaborate designs are a new development, and one which fills me with an unshakable sense of foreboding. While I share your concern, my presiding feeling is one of relief at your safe return. The Immortal Flames assured me that they will deal with the aftermath, so you need not concern yourself with that. We may rest easy for a time. I suggest you take full advantage of the respite, Em. You may be sure it won't last long. Once the people learn the identity of the hero who fell to Ifrit, I fear you will have nary a moment to yourself. Whether she intended to or no, Minfilia neglected to tell you something. Something I think it would be best you heard from one of us. It concerns the tempered inductees that were rescued. I'm sorry to report that all are to be put to death, the flames with whom you were imprisoned included. Needless to say, this information must not be made known to the public. I swear to you that we would not do this if if there were any other recourse. But once a man is tempered, he is tempered for life. His very existence lends strength to the primal, whom he cannot choose but worship. So we Scions continue our fight, that no more innocents need be sacrificed. I hope you will continue to stand with us, Em. But I should be going. I must offer my apologies to the Flame General for the losses his people suffered. Till next time. Gods forgive me, how many more lives? Louis Swall would never have allowed this to happen. I have to do better. I have to be stronger. Boom, 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 boom. Alright, what are we at? What are we at? What are we at? 24, 24, 24. Let's go, Lancer. Ophelia is wearing a wry smile. Might have something to do with your newfound fame. Until not so very long ago, you were but one of many adventurers seeking to make their way in Eorzea. But for your character and courage, you were raised to the esteemed post of envoy. Thereafter, you travel the realm, aiding those in need without thought of reward, confirming to Thancred that the Scions would benefit from your aid. And no sooner had you joined us than you personally bested the primal Ifrit. You have achieved a great deal in a short time, and won fame in doing so. Alas, fame does not come without a price, as you soon will discover. Apologize for the train. We have guests, Sam, or rather, you have guests. Beg pardons? Ah, Lady Minfilia, radiant as always. I am given to understand that the Scions of the Seventh Dawn have but recently welcomed a new hero into their midst. I'm here on behalf of the Maelstrom, Garen Company of Limsa Laminsa, to offer said hero a place of honor within our ranks. As you can see, Em, your recent exploits have garnered you the attentions of the grand companies of Eorzea. Each organization would have Ifrit's bane for its own. To this end, all three have sent officers to court you. They would not ordinarily go to such lengths to enlist a new recruit. What they have is evidence of their high regard for you. I find myself wondering how word of M's deeds spread so quickly. That the Immortal Flames should know of his triumph is to be expected, but what of the other grand companies? Eep. Reputation precedes you, Master Progression. 'Tis no ordinary man who can face a primal and emerge the victor. The Order of the Twin Adder has need of valiant men such as you. Join your strength to ours, friend, and together let us ensure that peace ever reigns over the Twelveswood. What a pleasure it is to finally meet you, Master Progression. My comrades speak of you in the most glowing terms. Why, even before you aided us against the Amalja and their dread primal, yours was already a respected name in Ul'dah. Our people know you and love you well. A man of your talent belongs with the Immortal Flames. Join your strength to ours, friend, and together let us secure a prosperous future for Ul'dah. The Admiral was not exaggerating when she said you have the look of a hero. Full often does she speak of you, friend. It is only natural that we should want you for the Maelstrom. Join your strength to ours, and together let us see the grand vessel of Limsa Laminsa to the shores of glory. Lady Minfilia. Very well. Though I am quite sure you need no reminding, mayhap a brief summary of the situation would help to clarify your thoughts on the matter. As you know, the Grand Companies are an all-encompassing organizations empowered to call upon the martial, economic, and technological resources of their respective city-states in times of strife. There are presently 3 such organizations in Eorzea: the Maelstrom of Limsa, the Order of the Twin Adder of Gridania, and the Immortal Flames of Ul'dah. Serving a Grand Company means serving the nation to which it belongs. You will be charged with its defense and tasked with advancing its cause. In return for your faithful service, you will be furnished with various rewards, some of which may prove useful to you in your other endeavors. If you are agonizing over which of the Grand Companies best deserves your loyalty, be at ease. The commitment you make this day need not be permanent. Should you wish to shift your allegiance at a later date, you are entitled to do so, and yet I concede it is no small choice you face. The thought occurs to me. You will, of course, recall that the 3 city-states are planning to hold remembrance services. Well, as part of the proceedings, I am given to understand that the leader of each Grand Company will deliver an address. Hearing these addresses ought to help you make an informed decision. What say you, my dear officers? A fine suggestion. You are as wise as you are beautiful, my lady. Very well. Let him hear our leader speak, and return here with his decision. We eagerly await your answer. I know full well that adventurers are by their nature a liberty-loving breed, and not best suited to the discipline of military service, but I strongly urge you to join a Grand Company nonetheless. While the promise of reward is enticing in itself, it is not the only benefit. You are possessed of great power, M, and with it you are capable of doing untold good. Yet know that great powers want to attract attention, not all of it friendly. There will be those who wish you ill, and you must need to be on the lookout for them. Yet however vigilant you are but one man. In the midst of a Grand Company, however, you are one man amongst many, a friend amongst friends. Your achievements will be shared, and so will the danger. I can think of no better arrangement. Of course, joining one organization need not mean leaving another. I hope we can continue to rely upon your aid. The 12 know that we will have need of it in the days ahead. The Grand Companies seek to protect their own nations. We Scions, on the other hand, seek to preserve the future of Eorzea as a whole. Similar, yet not quite the same. Now then, I expect you will be afield more often in the future. As such, I would have you carry this link pearl with you at all times. It'll allow us to stay in touch regardless of location. Eorzea is changing, M, and you have the power to help shape it anew. None can say what the morrow will bring, but so long as we believe in ourselves, there is naught we cannot achieve. Now it is time you made ready for your journey. Before you depart, be sure to speak to Tataru. She will apprise you as to where and when the remembrance services are due to take place. The power you possess, there will be those who wish you ill, and you must needs be on the lookout for them. Yet however vigilant you are but one man. In the midst of Grand Company, blah blah blah, blah blah. The Elder Seer speaks only truth, and her words have the power to touch the soul. At the sound of her voice, all fall silent and attend her. The Flame General is a passionate man, and his words never fail to light a fire in the belly of those who listen. I am sure you will be no exception. When the Admiral speaks, even pirates listen, and that is no small thing. She is a born leader, the kind one would gladly follow to the 7th hell. Oh, the shore is no longer there, so that probably means we've got new things to hear. The destruction that visited this land cannot be attributed to the forces of the Empire alone. Worm of midnight, of breath infernal, for some a legend made flesh, for others an insidious symbol of memory lost. We grasp but a piece of this puzzle. Much more must we question and contemplate ere the fallen moon revealeth its myriad secrets. I've heard words of your deeds. I'm sparing in my praise, so know that you have truly impressed me. Be that as it may, it is fortunate that Thinker arrived when he did. Had he been but a moment later, I shudder to think what might have transpired. An experienced warrior like Aaba won't die so easily. He's strong, fast, cunning, and he'll come back safe. I must confess I do rather miss that obnoxious Mikote's company. Aaba is taking part in a joint operation with the Immortal Flames. I imagine he's having the time of his life right now. Everything's looking to be in order. Right on. Next customer. You put us all to shame with your recent performance in the field. If I'm to keep up, I dare say I'll need bigger knives. Hello again, laddie. Meet Persevanes. As thick as thieves in the old days. At least I think we was. Or it might have been that he was a right creepy bastard, and I did my best to avoid him. Still, we was both members of the old order, so either way, we're in this together, eh? 5 years ago, the three grand companies joined as one and fought the Garlean Empire at Carton Flats. And now, for the first time, the people will gather to remember those who fell in the battle. That being said, no one has any clear memory of what transpired that fateful day, not even the leaders of each nation. Speeches, oh yes, I love them. There's nothing like a good exposition when you're having trouble sleeping. You have to stand up for that, Ida. I am sorry about all the attention you're getting, Em. I might have sung your praises a little too loudly, and often, to a few too many people. Next time I'll be sure to hold my tongue, literally if necessary. Anyway, I expect you want to know where and when the remembrance services are taking place. If all goes to plan, Gridania's Grand Company, the Order of the Twin Adder, will hold the first of 3 services, and the Elder Seed Seer Kana Senna will deliver her address at Miketo's Amphitheater. I should probably mention at this point that due to the organizational challenges involved in assembling all of the involved parties, it is possible that the order of the services might change. Still, there's not much we can do about that, so make Gridania your first port of call. Next, you'll need to go to Ul'dah, where the Flame General Ralban al-Din will be addressing the masses at the Royal Promenade. Oh, and it's rumored there's to be a special guest. How exciting. Last but not least, you must make your way to the stateroom in Limsa, where Maelstrom Chief Admiral Merwib Blofisven will be giving her address. The room is accessible via the Admiral's lift. Identify yourself to the sentry, Xanthale, and he will admit you. Got all that? Well, off you go then. I hope you find the remembrance services suitably educational. I suggest visiting the city-states in my prescribed order, though with your record of impeccable timing and luck, the sequence may well change in favor of your preferred travel plans. Farewell. Just a lot of language to say. It really doesn't matter what order you go in. And I think I'm going to call it here. A little early, about 15 minutes earlier than my usual stream length, or 15 to 45. I try to keep it from 2 to 2.5 hours. But we can do this here on the Making Quest as part of our start for the next go around. So yeah, thank you all for watching, or lurking, or watching the VOD. Any and all of you, it's been great to do this series so far. I'm pretty close to finishing up on that intro video. I feel like I've said that 1,000 times, but I've actually rendered out a video. Not quite up to what I want to do. Gonna give it a little more time to think on some ideas on what I should add to it. But we're close to having that intro video, and then I think that should help get some more people in for the live streams. Or if not, I'm doing this for myself. It doesn't really matter if nobody shows up. I'm doing this to learn a little bit about video editing, learn more about the game that I really enjoy, and to have some fun. That's going to be it for me today. Again, thank you all for watching, lurking, and watching the VODs, and I will see you next time.